Good morning, everybody. If you're watching this live, it is nice and early on a Thursday morning. I am here with Jessica Lackey, who is truly one of the core people in my inner circle. So we talk a lot about how you're the average of the 5 or 6 people you're closest with. I think aside from my family, Jessica, I feel like you're the person I'm closest to this year, and that has changed everything for me. So welcome, Jessica. I'm so excited to introduce you to everybody.
So excited to be here.
And I say introduce, but if you know me and you're in my world, you know Jessica because we are like, she's partnered, like huge partner to me. She's my strategy coach for the business. She's the COO of the Grab Life by the Goal Squad and my business therapist because she's not your typical business coach. She's not like up on high having a weekly session with you. She's, what do you say, Jessica? Tending to her clients down in the trenches.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. And I feel like just as much as like I'm in your inner circle, there's not a day that goes by that we don't talk. And when
Yep.
that day goes by, I'm like, where's my Lauren fix? So it goes both ways.
I love it. So today we're here to talk about how to stop being at war with your goals. And this is a topic, she and I were chatting before we went live, and I feel this way, and I'm a goals coach. There are times where I set a goal and I'm excited at the beginning, but then it just gets really freaking hard. And then I beat myself up and then I hate on the goal. And then I kind of victimize myself and blame other people for why it's not working. And then you're just at war with the thing that you want most. And Jessica, have you seen this with your clients and the other people that you work with?
I see this all the time with clients I work with everybody. At some point, we were told that like taking these big goals, these big, hairy, audacious goals, everything needed to be hard. Like it needed to be so hard and that it needed to be a struggle. And change is hard enough. I'd like to see us stop being at war with our goals.
Mm-hmm. So how do you begin? Like, how do you
So,
stop like
yeah,
making it feel so hard and so frustrating and burning out?
yeah. We are surrounded by the shoulds and
Mhm.
perfectionism. We have to have the perfect plan. We have to know exactly how it's going to work from A to Z. We have to like have planned for all the contingencies. And that means our goals feel so heavy and they feel so hard. They feel so intimidating. And really, what I want to tell people is like, start with what makes you happy and what's easy. Start there. You're
Right
on mute.
there.
Yeah.
And it's super counterintuitive.
Oh, you went on mute.
Oh no.
There you're back. Okay.
Is it back?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for letting me know. Everybody watching, I'm having a glitchy computer situation. So it just, a phantom ghost put it on mute there. What I was saying is that's hard for us goal driven, high performance, high achieving people. We're used to having the whole roadmap, right? Like when you work in corporate, you kind of know the next steps for 18 months to get promoted. Or you know the to-do list that your boss has given you in the job description. But out here in the world of uncommon goals, things like entrepreneurship, taking radical control of your wellness. I don't know. I keep going back to writing a book because I really want to write a book, but things that are uncharted territory, there's not going to be a perfect map. And so you have to take action even in lieu of a map.
Yeah.
But it's scary, right?
It's so scary. And I think this is where I love expert advice. I like to give expert advice, but the best advice I've given is like, if you're going to market your business, the best way to market your business is the way that you like to talk about your business. So instead of shooting ourselves of like, I need to do a weekly newsletter, which feels really hard, or I need to do social media on Reels, which feels really hard. We look for expert guidance versus coming back home to our own intuition about like, I like talking to humans. I like
Mm-hmm.
writing. I don't care what the experts say we need to do. Like this is all about a journey of self-development, and it's about moving towards the things that light you up and away from the things that make you sad.
Yeah.
And regardless of like if that you think that's even gonna be on the path, because let's set aside the path that's kind of dictated for us and start grabbing towards what if I just filled my life with things that were easeful. Now I don't want to be like, Netflix and chill for 5-10 hours a day, but
Mm-hmm.
move towards what brings more joy in your life. And let's stop being at war with our goals.
You helped me do that in the most massive way because Jessica helped me create the squad. And it's crazy because the idea began coming out. I was working with her in a session. Uh-oh. Here we go. Did you pop out there for a second?
I did.
My computer is so glitchy. It just popped you out. Okay, so what I was telling everybody, messy action, guys. We're doing a fun little live stream here. What I was telling everybody is that you helped me do this because the idea for the squad began to pop out in a very unclear way about a year and a half ago. And it was because you were asking me, what makes you happy? What do you want to do all day? And I was like, I just want to inspire people and bring cool people together and just put in big jolts of inspiration and have parties and travel. And is that a business? And it took a minute. It took 9 months before we were like, wait, this could be a business model. This could be a membership. But that 9 months, it felt long. But on the other side of it, I'm like, it only took 9 months to transition my business totally. And that was because of the way you worked with me.
Yeah, but I think it's also because you got really clear on what made you happy. You set aside, again, what someone else told you was the fastest path to cash or what was super lucrative or how you had to run things. And you're like, no, I, unlike other people, like being on video. I like being on stages. I like, performing for large groups of people. So I'm going to move towards what feels easy. That's not how I grow my business because I'm thankful to be on the stage at the Grab Life by the Goals Summit, but that's not, my heart is not in speaking to large crowds. My heart is working with businesses and deep relationship and deep rapport. But so that means we both have to, buck the shoulds and buck the hard things, and start moving towards what feels good and what feels easeful and what feels that it lights up our soul. Move in the direction of that and see what possibilities emerge versus trying to wrestle. We in our community, we have people talking about I should be doing more with my time. I should be doubling down. I should be working harder. I'm like, what if you didn't work hard at all and simply put in more of the things that nourish your soul and nourish your body and make you feel joyful? If we had more joy, would we feel more resourced to take on hard things or things that are challenging us or scary us? It's really hard to move forward from a depleted bucket. And I think that's what we've all done to ourselves in the past 3 years, #COVID.
Amen, sister. Amen. And I love that you and I are starting to speak the same language of happiness is the ultimate performance hack. And I don't even know if hack is the right word. It's the performance edge. And we're fans of the happiness advantage. We've been talking about it on our calls a lot lately. But here's the thing, most goals, something like 92% of goals, New Year's resolutions are done within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's because we create these plans without this conversation. Yes, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to do it by going on this diet and working out 5 days a week. Cool. 2 weeks later, it's not stuck because you haven't asked yourself, is this joyful? Does this make me happy? Am I going to be happy on week 2 as I am on week, 20 when I've lost the weight? If you're not happy along the way, it's not going to stick.
Yeah. And if you're kind of waiting for that perfect plan, that you can, that's, scientifically proven and expert, you're going to be stuck where you are because you're I have to have the perfect silver bullet. My health coach says the best exercise is the one you'll do.
Yes. And that's true for all of it. So we ran a call yesterday called What the Fuck Am I Doing with My Life in 2023? And we had 13 or 14 people on the line. Amazing. Everybody had very different goals. And one common theme was, I don't even have the time to sit down and think about this. And I'm like, sister, that's where you need to start. We've got to carve a couple hours a week, not in a way that feels bad, not like another meeting on your calendar, but when would that feel good? You've got to begin to instill habits in a way that are, what do they say in Atomic Habits? Easy and attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we make moving toward our goals easier and more attractive?
And I think that's when our goals are lose 30 pounds. I don't know anybody who thinks that's a fun goal. unless that's really a fun goal for you. I'm not in, and I'm not entirely sure that on entrepreneurship, like get more clients isn't really like, unless you're like maybe someone who's made some inner peace with their how they want to market. Like no one's really like, let's go on a sales sprint and say, and that makes people feel good.
Yeah, you're
So,
right.
like, we make these goals like there are punishments of like I have to do this to,
Mhm.
well, what is the gift of sales? What is the gift of losing the weight? It's I get to feel more in tune to my body. I get to be of service to substantial numbers of people who otherwise are kind of like trapped in like the hamster wheel of life.
Yep.
How do we have more purpose to the goals of like this is not just like a thing to do, and it's not something as a it's not a tool of shame that we can like flagellate ourselves with. This is a way to connect with like the reason we're here on the planet.
Which is not how we usually think of it.
No, being at war as our goals is a surefire way to be able to chalk up yet another I'm not good enough, because it's another thing we set out to do and it's another thing we fight with and then we don't do because #life, instead of taking that step back of truly what is the purpose behind this goal? How do I want to feel? And how can I start feeling happy today before the goal is even started?
There it is. That's the soundbite from this live. This is why Jessica is so brilliant. No, it's so true. We learned about this in coach training. If you approach your goals from a place of shame, then you're only going to continue to shame you can't shame yourself to success,
Yeah.
basically. So we keep going back to weight loss because it's like an easy one to hang on to. But I know I do it in business when it comes to sales. Like oh man, there's not enough sales coming in. So I better reach out to 30 people today. Otherwise, I'm not going to make money and I'm going to suck and I'm not good enough. So like if you're shaming yourself into activities, A, they're just energetically not going to work. That's just laws of karma. But B, you're going to hate it. You're going to hate the thing you set out to do.
It's the same as like if you want to get a job in the next year, everyone's like, well, I have to write my resume and I have to clean up your LinkedIn profile. And I have this list of things that like make me feel bad because I didn't already do them. What if we flipped it on its head is I'm going to go on an exploration journey and I'm going to talk to 30 people I admire in kind of the spaces I want to be in. And then we're going to have a conversation. They're going to tell me what needs to go on the resume. They're going to tell me what opportunities are out there. And I guarantee you, they're also going to say, can you just send me your resume because I have a job for you? At least one of them probably will.
100.
Because, but that's like out of a space of curiosity and exploration versus out of a list of to-dos that we are told that we have to do first.
Yep. And Jessica and I have devised this into almost a methodology in the squad called clinical trials. So for instance, in the example that you just gave, somebody who's job hunting, instead of saying Jessica or I sitting them down and being like, do these 10 things in this order, we would be like, take a week or two, go explore, and then come back and let us know your insights so we can plan your next sprint. But it's all an experiment. And then all we do is we keep refining our approach with the data. But it requires you to put your butt cheeks out there before you're ready and know exactly what to do, which is the challenging part.
Well, we had one of our squad mates who had been going on interview.
Mm-hmm.
And then we told her to stop. We told her to go fill her cup, go be happy, go do the things that she wanted to do, and let some of those seeds that she planted, let them bloom, let them be ready for harvest. She's gotten a couple of interviews since she's been on a happiness sabbatical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's because again, like when you're in the war mindset of like, I need to like interview for these number of places and I have to go apply for these number of jobs, we don't gravitate towards who would I love to work for? Who's doing interesting things? How can I get in the magic of someone that I admire? And we kind of have this militant to-do list versus stepping into like what's magic and what's possible.
Yes. Are you seeing our screens shift into different shapes? This fucking computer.
This is massive action right here. We are just doing this
silliness. Thing. Okay. Well, we're going to roll with it. I don't like that our pictures aren't the same size, but okay. We're just going to roll with this for tech issues reasons. Jessica is a keynote speaker at the Grab Life by the Goal Summit. If you haven't snagged your ticket, today is a good day to do so because we're doing a holiday flash sale for 3 days, literally starting in an hour. Well, you can do it right now if you're watching live. The code that you can enter when you go to laurenwidrick.com/summit is GIFT, GIFT, for 50% off your standard tickets. And I say it's starting in an hour because I'm going on TV in 1 hour to announce this as well. So that's why I curled my hair today. This is for the television. But go ahead to laurenwidrick.com/summit and then type in the code GIFT for 50% off. Get one for yourself, get one for your BFF, get one for your spouse. I would highly recommend coming to this with your partner if possible. And you'll get to hear from Jessica. And she's going to be talking about these topics, but also she's our operations expert. So there is a section in the workbook that's Jessica's where you are going to create a plan for 2023, leaving space for magic and the unknown.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's not all just about the actions you do. It's about the identity and the beliefs you have, which is why one of the reasons why kind of being at war with your goals means you're like, well, I don't have that thing yet, so I can't get there. So I have to like, be at war and like hustle towards my goals versus how do we step into an identity we can already embrace and say, well, this is, maybe I'm not there yet, but I believe that I can do this. So the first step in action, we believe we can take the action, and then the action generates the clarity and the commitment. But we have to believe in the action we're taking first, which is why if we take on an action that's really big and hard and scary and something we don't really want to do, we have no belief that that's really going to be something that we can execute. So we have to start with, I am a person who likes to move my body. I am a person who likes to talk to human beings. I am a person who joins a community of other like-minded goal seekers. And maybe you're like, well, I don't know if I truly believe in myself to get from A to B, but I believe in the next best step, which is why we say, start with what's easy, start with what makes you happy, starts with what's aligned in your identity so that you can start taking those action steps and the doors will open wide.
But having those identity goals is the first step. And that's why we have Jessica, because she's done that for me and it's changed absolutely everything. I have a business now that feels like home to me because I get to do the things I love every single day. And there are things we don't love in business and we approach them with joy and we'll freaking laugh about them anyway. So it's wonderful. Everyone needs a Jessica in their lives. Come to this summit. It's half off. It's freaking half off for the next 3 days. laurenwidrick.com/summit. Enter code GIFT for 50% off and we'll see you there. Jessica, thank you for today. It was absolutely amazing. And thanks everybody for our little tech issues. Technology silliness.